Hi, I'm Layla. And yep, that's me in the front row of a gala, seconds before I betrayed my best friend and almost ruined his life. But before we get to all that, please make sure to like and subscribe. Ever since I was little, I've been a lot to handle. Or at least that's what I've been told. By my mom, Layla. By my dad.
Layla!
By, well, any adult really. But really, I'm just always trying to do the right thing. And sometimes that gets me in trouble. That's why my parents sent me to Woodmere Academy to begin with. That and other reasons.
It's only the 5th-ranked preparatory school in the country, but heavens, no one else will take you, no matter how much money we throw their way.
Good grief, Layla. How will you replace your father as CEO of Idrizi Tech if you keep up with these morality plays? Woodmere was supposedly elite, but to me, it was just like every other rich kid cesspool my parents plopped me into, complete with snobby, entitled lookalikes who wore the same navy blazer and walked the halls like the world owed them a standing ovation just for showing up.
You think you belong here? You're just a poor, worthless...
Funny you think he doesn't belong here, when your dad basically had to donate a wing to get your sorry butt in here. The scholarship kid ran, but Milo's ego didn't.
You're gonna regret that! My family basically runs this school! I'm untouchable!
Cool. But are you waterproof?
Huh?
I bent down and turned the knob on a nearby sprinkler, which aimed straight at Milo and sprayed water all over him. Some other kids watching us laughed. 15 minutes later, I found myself in a familiar place, the headmaster's office.
Do you think drenching a student with irrigation equipment is leadership material, Miss Idrizi?
I don't think threatening a kid with a lacrosse stick is exactly student of the month behavior either.
That student of the month is my grandson.
Of course he is.
Which is why you're not just suspended. You're expelled.
Wait, no, please. If I get expelled, my parents will actually disown me. You don't understand. I'm supposed to be the next CEO of Idrizi Tech. As the school doors slammed shut behind me, along with, my future, I did the only thing a girl with no options and rapidly shrinking inheritance could do. I walked home. Every step was basically a countdown to whatever fresh nightmare my parents had waiting for me. Mom? Dad?
Pack your bags.
Immediately. Wait, you already know?
You bet we do. You got accepted to Advena Academy!
I am so sorry, Wait, what? It's the #1 school in the country. Looks like they changed their mind. Wow! So you're not mad about the sprinkler?
The what?
Nothing. When do we leave? Apparently, we were leaving that night. No time to overthink it, no time to sabotage it. Just a suitcase and a second chance that, let's face it, I totally deserved. And when we got there, my jaw almost dropped. Advena made every other fancy school I'd ever been kicked out of look like a daycare run by raccoons. I waved goodbye to Mom and Dad and approached the doors with a fresh start in mind and a promise in my heart. But as soon as I walked through the doors...
Layla Idrizi to the headmaster's office immediately.
Oh, what now? I hadn't so much as eye-rolled at anyone, and I was already in trouble? I braced myself as I entered the headmaster's office, but something felt different this time. For one, the headmaster was smiling.
Ah, Miss Idrizi. Welcome to Advena. I'm Headmaster Quinlan.
Hi?
Don't worry, you're not in trouble. Not yet, anyway. We brought you here for a very specific reason. Let's call it an assignment.
What kind of assignment?
One that requires your particular talents. Quick thinking, initiative, a healthy disregard for rules.
Wow. Most schools just call that detention.
Here, we call it useful. But if you mess this up, we will expel you. So, no pressure.
He kept going on about some top-secret mission, about how the only reason I was at Advena was to follow someone with as little contact as possible and await instructions for my next steps. Then, He slid a manila envelope across the desk like we were in some low-budget spy movie. I expected a photo of a criminal mastermind, maybe a hacker, a ninja, at the very least someone with a scar or an eye patch. But nope, it was Louis Block, a kid so aggressively average, he practically faded into the folder. Brown hair, brown eyes, scrawny. You could lose him in a crowd of two. And yet, that was my mission. Follow Louis. So I did. And at first, everything about him was even more ordinary than I'd expected. He was the quietest kid in class. He didn't eat with anyone. Even his locker code was 1, 2, 3, 4. But because he was allergic to attention, he actually turned out to be weirdly hard to follow. After all, we couldn't both sit in the back row and pretend to be invisible. And there's only so much space between the vending machine and the science wing. But in all that solo stealth mode, there was exactly one group activity where he appeared to be somewhat comfortable. The chess club. A place so mind-numbingly dull that it made math class feel like a rock concert. And thanks to this seemingly pointless mission, I guess that's how I'm going to be spending my afternoon.
Pawn to b4.
Before what, though? I watched as Louis moved a pawn, then another pawn, then the horse one, whatever it's called. Riveting stuff. But then, his opponent leaned back, grinning like he just solved world hunger.
Checkmate again. Wow, Louis, do you just come here to be reminded about what a loser you are?
Man, even in chess club he was an easy target. My brain was screaming, stay out of it, observe, don't blow your cover. But my instincts, they'd already stood up. Did you just come here to forget that your mom cut your hair with a weed whacker? And out of the corner of my eye, I saw Louis do something I hadn't seen him do all week. He smiled. After the 3-hour chess club that felt like 3 years, I felt a tap on my shoulder. And when I turned around, it was him.
Hey, thanks.
You can talk? Yeah, no sweat. And just like that, we started chatting. Nothing dramatic, nothing spy-worthy. But for the first time since I got here, it didn't feel like an assignment. It felt normal. Actually, it turns out we had a lot in common.
My parents put so much pressure on me. I figure it's better for my future to keep a low profile. You probably wouldn't understand.
Oh, trust me, I do. Maybe he was just a regular guy after all. But as we talked more often, I started noticing something unique about Louis. He had a knack for expressing himself in a way that was poetic. So you always eat alone?
Mostly, but sometimes the birds show up. They all swoop down for the crumbs, pecking at them like it's their last meal on Earth. Yet somehow, they always leave enough for each other. And I think that's kind of beautiful.
Yeah, it kinda is. Even his voice had this magnetic pull, like there was something musical about him. And over the next few days, my whole just observe and report strategy kinda crumbled. I told myself I was keeping things professional, that staying close to Louis was just part of the mission. But the truth, we were becoming friends, real ones. He was also weirdly funny, in that dry blink-and-you-miss-it way. And he could quote MSA videos like they were Shakespeare, which, let's be honest, is a wildly underrated skill.
Why don't they teach those videos in school?
I know, right? Then one afternoon, I saw him slip into a place I didn't even know students were allowed into. The old theater backstage loft. I waited for a moment, then crept in after him. And that's when I saw it. Louis, alone, tucked into the shadows with a battered violin under his chin. Playing. But not just playing. Humming, too. A soft, steady note that floated above the strings like it was made of air and magic. It was beautiful. Like, make your heart hurt kind of beautiful. And then, before I even knew what was happening, I was crying. At music. Me! Who knew I could even do that? Unfortunately, he heard my sniffles and looked directly at me.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
What? No, don't apologize.
No, I'm so sorry.
And before I could say anything else, he bolted, like he'd accidentally set the building on fire with a G major chord, and I ran after him. I didn't know you could do that.
No one does. I mean, they used to. But after what happened with my brother, I stopped, mostly.
What do you mean? What happened?
I don't know how to explain it exactly. It's like, when I play, it messes with people. Their emotions. Their insides. I don't try to do it, it just happens. He was going through something really hard, and I thought I was helping. I thought if I could just play the right notes, he'd feel better. But he didn't feel better, it just got worse. And then My parents sent me here after that. Said I needed a break from too much feeling, whatever that means.
Suddenly, everything made sense. The quiet, the staring out of windows, the assignment in general. I wasn't just following a weird boy with a sad vibe and a violin. This was something else. Something powerful and broken. Later that week, I got called into the headmaster's office again.
Miss Idrisi, how are things progressing?
With what? Oh, Louis? Yep. He's just a totally normal guy. Nothing to see here. Definitely not emotionally gifted to the point of concern, if that's what you're wondering.
I understand the two of you have become quite close.
What? No,
I'm the headmaster, Layla. I know exactly what happens around here. You do know about the incident involving his brother, right?
I tensed up. This was going deeper than I ever could have thought.
He blames himself. He hasn't spoken about it to anyone. His parents tried everything to help him out, got him the best therapists in the world. Nothing worked. But we believe his silence is part of the problem. When he plays, he connects. He releases what he's been holding in. Now, suppressing a gift like his is not healthy, especially when it's tied to guilt. And that's where you come in. You need to help him heal, Layla. There's a gala next month. Nothing flashy, just a showcase of student work, a safe space. If Louis were to play again, even just one song, it might be the first step back to himself.
Convincing the quietest kid in the universe to sing at a fancy fundraiser? No pressure or anything. I found Louis in his usual spot, tucked behind the music building, sitting on a chipped concrete ledge that overlooked the soccer field.
Want one? The cafeteria throws them out a day before they expire. Still perfectly fine, just no longer worth the shelf space.
Wait, what? That's like a criminal amount of food waste. Someone needs to stage a protest.
You know what you should join? The Social Activism Club. They'd love you.
Yeah, well, not sure I have time for that given my assignment.
Assignment?
Assignments. Like school assignments, homework, tests. Never mind. Anyway, you know what you should join? The roster of performers at the annual gala.
Oh, no,
Come on, I heard you play yesterday. It was—
I said no, Layla. Sorry, it's just not my thing. I should go.
But for a while, I kept trying, subtly. Isn't it weird how the word gala rhymes with voila, like a big performance reveal?
Sure.
But it was hopeless. I could feel my future as CEO of Idrisi Tech slipping through my fingers. I'd already burned through every other school worth mentioning, and the headmaster had made it clear, screw this up, and I was done for good. And if that happened, my parents would never forgive me, so I felt like I had no choice but to do the ultimate betrayal. I signed him up for the gala anyway, and then I told the headmaster that Louis had agreed to play. Next thing I knew, Louis wasn't just on the schedule, he was the centerpiece. They printed his name on the flyers and announced it in assembly. Was it manipulative? Yes. Did I feel bad? Also yes. But it was for his own good, right? I mean, he had to break out of his shell eventually, right? Unfortunately, he didn't see it that way.
How could you do this to me?
Do what?
Oh, please. You think just because I don't talk much means I'm stupid? I know it was you who signed me up for the gala. Thanks for reminding me why I don't trust anyone.
I'd done the opposite of what I was trying to do. He wasn't coming out of his shell. He was burrowing deeper in. Thanks to me. So I went to the headmaster's office, rehearsing my confession in my head. How I'd pushed Louis too far, how I'd betrayed his trust. That maybe I wasn't the right person to help him overcome his dark past. But when I reached the door, it was already cracked open. And what I heard made me freeze.
Everything's right on schedule. The boy plays his little melancholy solo. The audience tears up, and boom! 50s, no hundreds, no thousands of dollars fall into our laps. Easy peasy. And yes, you'll get your 50% as agreed.
I couldn't believe my ears. He didn't want to help Louis. He was using him for profit, and I was just a pawn in his scheme. But I'm not a pawn, or one of those horse thingies. I was gonna show him who he was really messing with. A queen. Chess club stuff. I sprinted to find Louis, who was sitting alone, as expected. Louis!
What do you want?
Well, first off, to apologize. I never should have signed you up for the gala. But honestly, I swear to you, I only wanted to help.
I didn't ask for help. Why does everyone keep trying to fix me? What if I'm not broken? What if I just want to be left alone?
You have every right to feel that way.
Then why are you here?
Because something's not right. I overheard Headmaster Quinlan on the phone. He's not trying to help you. He's using you. The gala is just a cash grab, and your solo's the tearjerker. That's the plan. You suffer, and they get paid. I expected him to explode the way I was about to, but to my surprise, he didn't get angry. I guess he was too broken to even react.
Of course, that tracks.
I thought I was pushing you towards something good, but I got so caught up in juggling my own problems and trying to do the right thing that I guess I never asked what you wanted.
Yeah, no one ever does.
I'm so sorry, Louis.
You know, when I first met you, something clicked in me, and I played something different.
What do you mean? Can I hear it? He didn't say a word, but the way he looked at me hit me harder than any note ever could. No audience, no gala, just me, I promise. To my surprise, he picked up his violin. I braced myself for another emotional gut punch, but what came out wasn't heavy or sad. It was light, and suddenly, so was I. I was grinning like an idiot, flooded with the kind of hope I hadn't felt since before I got kicked out of my first fancy school, back when I still believed the world could change. And then, through my joy, I blurted, "Louis!"
Oh, you hated it, huh?
Hated it? I've never felt so amazing in my life. Look, I know I can't get you out of performing anymore, but that doesn't mean you have to fall into their trap. If you played like that, you'll be making people feel good, including yourself. He gave me the smallest smile and left without a word, but I could tell something was shifting in him. On the night of the gala, I had no clue what to expect. Either the one person in my life I truly cared about gets exploited and traumatized even further, or he goes off script and reclaims his story, which meant I was probably getting expelled again. And then, just when I thought my bundle of nerves couldn't get more twisted, I spotted them in the audience. My parents. Guys, what are you doing here?
Layla, look at you, still enrolled. How nice.
Come sit. We saved you a seat. We hear you're close with tonight's little prodigy.
If getting expelled was my worst case scenario, then watching my parents' live reaction to it was the apocalypse. But as Louis made his way onto the stage, he looked unchanged in a way that made me sad. It was like the spotlight was too hot and had shriveled him back into the broken boy they all expected. And sure enough, a sad melody followed suit. As I looked around, I could see the audience tearing up, dabbing eyes, sniffles everywhere. And right on cue, Headmaster Quinlan started slinking between rows, smiling and collecting checks like it was church. As I watched Louis crumble, I expected, as always, for my body to move before my mind had a chance to think. But for once, I paused. It was my decision now. I could sit there and be the good girl everyone wanted me to be, or I could stand up and be me. You're amazing, Louis! I believe in you! Louis froze mid-note. As the wealthiest people in the country stared me down, I still stood firm. And then, like he just remembered who he was, Louis's lips twitched into a smile. And suddenly, the music changed. It became lighter, happier, and the audience They forgot all about me. In fact, they actually started dancing. Headmaster Quinlan's donations became an afterthought. And just as I was ready to start joining the dancing...
Layla, what have you done?
Huh? What do you mean?
The donations are stopping. Do you know what that means for the company? This was supposed to be a proof of concept for investors for our latest tech, emotional music activation. You've ruined it. Make it stop.
And it dawned on me. The person on the other side of the phone call with the headmaster was my father. How do you think you got into this school in the first place? You had one task. Now we'll never be able to convince the board to make you CEO. No, wait, But I couldn't finish the sentence. I looked up at Lewis and saw something I almost never saw in myself. True joy. And then I remembered what he'd said to me. No one ever asks what I want. Did I even want to be the CEO of some big tech company? I realized the answer was no. If Lewis could find his voice, then maybe I could too. You know what? Fine. Find another CEO.
Layla, you don't mean that.
Stop telling me what I mean. I don't want to be the CEO of Idrizi Tech. I want to work on something that helps people, not manipulate them. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some dancing to do. I walked toward the front of the stage, feeling more alive than I ever had. For a second, Lewis looked up mid-note, and our eyes locked. I didn't know what the future held, but I knew one thing. Unlike so much in our lives, we'd earned this moment. The next morning, I was called into the headmaster's office, and I was rehearsing my speech to talk my way out of expulsion. But I walked in to find Headmaster Quinlan looking weirdly ashamed.
You're not being expelled.
I blinked.
But your parents said if you wanted to transfer to any school of your choice, they'd support it.
I didn't know what shocked me anymore, that I was still enrolled, or that they actually cared about what I wanted. Maybe, for once, they were trying. Thanks, but I think I'll stay here. I hear there's a social activism club that may need some help. I walked out of the office towards Lewis, who was waiting for me down the hallway.
Still enrolled?
Shocking, I know.
You were kind of amazing last night.
Kind of? Wow. Stop. I'm blushing. He suddenly stopped walking and looked at me, more sure of himself than ever before.
I'm really glad you followed me.
Yeah, me too. Turns out, I didn't need a mission to save someone. I just needed to stop chasing who I was supposed to be and finally start choosing who I wanted to be. And maybe, for the first time in forever, that was enough.